Greetings, welcome to XF. We're starting the Hanrahan Reefer Boxcar build today, so I will show more of that off after our ad spot. So let's hop over to that, shall we? Bigger prints are your place for custom stickers and custom 3D printed parts. If you like what I do, you definitely like what he does. There's custom stickers for my mocks and all other careers mocks. So make sure to check them out. www.brickprints.com. Take a look around, support them for me, and yeah, enjoy that. Let's go over to studio, shall we? Alright, fair warning. My flatmate was sick. I knew it was only a matter of time. I'm finally sick. I got a little bit of a sore throat, so I think my voice is going to be a little not so great. So we'll see what we can do. Anyways, the Hanrahan Ice Reefer Boxcar. This is an interesting one because if any of you are familiar with, let me actually find that file real quick. I am not well prepared. I'm kind of late today. What was that? It was like the 23? Yeah, class SFRD class 23 boxcar. Okay, so normally your ice boxcars, the ice goes in the end parts. On the Hanrahan, it's actually in the middle, and that kind of divides the front and rear compartments into like separate little areas. So that is kind of neat, I think. Let me see here. I have some blueprints for this thing. Thanks to Mac in the Discord. He posted these images actually for someone else, but I saw this thing and I was like, oh, wait a minute, double doors, that's kind of neat. There were some other people going like, that is neat. But then the middle, the fact that it's the middle that the ice goes in, it's just like, oh, this is actually might be really special. And as far as I'm aware, there is not many of these that were made. They're kind of a oddity, rare sort of thing. And yeah, I just think they're kind of neat. And I've had a strong desire for one ever since I saw the blueprints for this. This was actually the original image that was posted in the Discord. I was like, ooh. Yeah, Colorado Midland had one. I think Union also had one. There's a couple of them out there, but there really wasn't many. Oh, let's go over the screen here. Hanrahan Reefer. Yeah. Who else was there? Swift? No, that's not it. There's Colorado Midland. There's the actual thing. I know there's more. Oh yeah, here's Santa Fe. That's the one I was thinking of. There's another Hanrahan. You can see by the middle, kind of like a dome poking up. Yeah, normally it's loaded from the ends, unlike your regular ice cars, but this one's unique. So like each end is kind of its own little separate compartment. But anyways, yeah, let's go back over to studio and figure out dimensions, shall we? Okay, so what do we got to work with? 26 feet over the middles of the bogies. All right, that's not too difficult to figure out. Okay, Sariel's unit converter. Okay, tell me, what would that be? That's feet, right? Yeah, it's feet. 26 feet at 1/48th, please. It's only 20 studs, 20.6 studs. Okay. I think we can work with that. We might have to do some special things to get those roughly in the middle. But without further ado, let's go ahead and lay out 20.6. 20.6? 20.6, yeah. I do have that correct. And a tile. There we go. 20.6. Perfect. Scale this thing out real quick. So what's this? Oh, this is just a 36-foot boxcar, roughly. Actually pretty big. So that'd be nice. I think this will be a nice sizable model too. Oh, that's a little too big. Okay, I am struggling a little bit to get this sized appropriately. Almost there. It would help if my mouse released the image after I get done moving it. Doing the final adjustments. There we go. Huh. Okay. We good? I think we're close enough. Alright. Sweet. Let me... Does this one also have midpoints on the drawings? No. Well, we can definitely use reference here because you can kind of see down the middle here, there's like a grating. There's also some kind of like vent thingy up top. Should be, let's see here. Looks like there's a drain kind of off to the one side. I would think there would be almost 2 drains on either side. Does this one actually have anything for that? No, just one side has the water trap. Okay. We'll have to make sure to add that detail later. I guess without further ado, I kind of want to do a technique of actually just using a buttload of plates to try and replicate this texture. I think that's kind of the best way to replicate this texture. Besides the ends. The ends, we might have to do something special on. We'll see how that goes. Okay. Excuse me. 6 plates isn't quite enough. Is 7 enough? Okay, 7 is getting into like the roof territory. I think we'll have to just do 6. Yeah, and this is just a plate and a half. It would be possible to do a plate and a half with, like, brackets facing downwards. Which would be an interesting way of building this. So something like that, kind of facing downwards. What's the width we're working with, by the way? Because that'll make a big difference. Is it roughly 8? It is 7.5. Fantastic. We're having odd numbers. Oh boy. This is... Alright, so sweet. This is going to be a disaster of a car. Just because the complications of building at 7.5 is... not gonna make things easier for me whatsoever. 7.5. Yeah, no, that's gonna be an awkward sizing. Do we even have like an even sizing kind of coming down the middle here? Is anything on an even stud? You're close. Planet Black. I took a break from this chaos. Oh, all the shenanigans and headaches of what I'm about to do. Because of my ability to be very anal about dimensions to almost an extreme. Because I like pain and suffering. Do I need a psychologist or a therapist? Probably. Yes, lol. Yeah, that's fair. Fair and understandable. Scaling makes me want to claw my eyes out with a brick separator. Oh no! Oh, that is is hilarious, but also just, oh, so understandable. The suffering makes it worth it. I promise you. I swear. I'm not just mentally insane and probably broken. Okay, I lied. I'm probably a little bit broken, but still. There are probably bits of me that are a little bit not healthy anymore. Patience is about as long as the 1x1's done. That's a good one. Probably a good thing that I'm doing this then, so that all you have to do is just buy the instructions later on. Don't have to suffer through my madness of designing this. Okay, and the doors are going to be an interesting fun. I don't think I'm going to get this sideways texture, really. I wonder if we could do anything for the door hinges. Your madness eventually profits. Yeah. It's hard to argue when the madness makes the money. What about the ancient window shutter pieces? Ah. Because you got that, and that just automatically makes me think of some like the old... I think there's old door pieces even that have kind of that texture. If I'm not mistaken. Could be mistaken. They were red though. Ah, I believe they also came in green and a few other colors. Though technically, I believe we needed... Yeah, we need yellow for at least this one. With a little bit of black at the bottom. And then depending on whether... I mean, I would want a... I actually think of what color I almost want for like breakwater pass coloring. 3856, yeah. Yeah, these guys. Oh wow. The fact that those are almost kind of perfect, like the upper part of those doors, is a little wild. And yeah, no, it's those are like way too big. That's like almost a single door. Wondering. Yeah, because there's no door texture like that really. Window, glass and shutter. What do we got else here? Just for my curiosity. We do have like the modern equivalents with the actual clips too. Those are oh, why do you have to be so much more fatter? Almost a sticker piece. Yeah, I mean we don't necessarily have to do the texture. We could. I mean, we'll probably end up. I feel like doing. I still want the doors to open though. That's a problem with me, is I still like my functionality. So, you know, you can actually like kind of play with the model. Or at least be able to do poses with it. So you can pose a boxcar. So there is that. Tile modified. We do have these. And they're like way too wide for what those should be. So yeah, 2x6, whatever, sticker or pad printed. So far, stickers, since that's all Freaky Prints can do. Yeah, we'll come back to the doors in a moment. Or actually, probably relatively soon, knowing how we got to do things. Actually, am I looking at this all wrong? Oh, you know what? I am looking at this all wrong. Yeah, because this bottom piece that I'm looking at that goes all the way through, that's actually this little... That's that little middle beam right there. Yeah, so... Yeah, okay, so this just comes down to here. Okay, so I was looking at this all wrong. I don't need any of this, probably. I might say with instant regret in a few seconds here. What even is going on with these bumpers? I mean, I could... Almost for that texture, I could just have just a, work here. And that'd be, like, just fine. And then just do, like, 1x5s. 1x5s are extremely limiting on color, though. What do we have even for colors of 1x5s? Actually, we might be able to get away with it. We have yellow, we have white. We might be able to escape it. Will it make that bottom part maybe a little thicker than it should be? Probably. Actually, you know what we could even do? Could we actually even do? There's probably something I can do if I inverted this. If I inverted that and stuck it like that. That should technically be a little longer, but I think we're going to ignore that factor. And mostly just use however ungodly amounts of 1x6 plates we have to just build up the sides. At least it seems like the doors are up high enough that I can just basically do, maybe, 1x1 stud. Oh, okay. Yeah, because those doors are like 1x5s basically, right? To a T, actually. Thank you for being slightly awkward. I guess we could do the build around them a little differently. To a certain point. Okay, select by connected. Copy mirror. It's going to be roughly the same on the other side. No matter how we cut it. I feel like I should just use a jumper, though, just for temporary position of the 1x5. Put that there. The 1x5 there in the middle. Delete that. Put that back. Okay, now we're good. Question, how wide is the door? Is the door 4 wide? Yeah, we might just call that 4 wide. In the grand scheme of things. Which will make my life kind of easier, since we should be able to fit plates and stuff around the edges easily. I say easily, but it's probably still going to take some shenanigans. No getting around it. Okay, yeah, it's fine. 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 2 more. That should be pretty darn close to 1x5. I think we're missing just 1 tile, right? Yeah, tile thickness. Middle. Has an idea, actually. chance to do just a tile here. So we can basically take, I'm gonna delete that side. Copy mirror, there we go. Copy, paste. And that'll give us kind of a nicer, especially when the doors are open, if the insides are kind of tiled. The paste. Paste. And there's a little overlap, but that's minor details. We can get stuff properly aligned. It's Terry. Hey, welcome. Yeah, I probably need to actually start putting together some kind of skeleton for this. Oh, Yannick is here too. Welcome. Everyone is joining in. Okay, so trying to think about how to go about this. Is this actually already kind of close to the 20.6? Or 28.6? Train stuff wins. Kind of. I will admit, for viewership purposes, the train stuff usually brings in the more people. Because everyone likes trains. We're all train nerds at heart. Sorry about that, just taking a little bit of drink of some OJ. I'm gonna up my vitamin C a little bit. Oh, Sunset's here. Wow, everyone is literally coming in. This is fantastic. It's nice seeing you all. Okay, so I think I kind of want to do a little bit of a cheaty thing where I use tiles and then hinge plates, because that would be the filler that we can get into there. Where's the 2x2 hinge plates? You, my good sir. Only thing that's going to be annoying is that you're going to have that little bump on the inside. But, I mean, as long as it's not too seen from the outside, I think it's fine. Does it kill me on the inside? Yeah. I know Kobe and a few other brands actually use appropriate ones. Actually, you know what? We can get stuff to line up perfectly. I go by connected, grab everything, and copy mirror. Boom. There we go. Yeah. And then we gotta get the underneath detailing. I think I actually need to like a kind of like an internal skeleton. So we have siding, but there's only so much you can do with siding. I need an actual internal skeleton. Wondering if I should just design some new bogies, because it is fun to design some new bogies, but it's also hurts a lot. Yeah, I think I'm gonna design some new bogies. The heck with it. Let's suffer a little bit. So if I grab some training wheels here. Where's my wheels? There's my wheels. Train wheels. Put you roughly right there. And you also roughly right there. I'm kind of imagining for that middle spring to use maybe like handlebars. I think would get that shape probably decently. Yeah. Let's see here. Minifig. And utensils. Even though, for some of the utensil stuff, I feel like it should be in other places. Like handlebars, even like seats maybe should be in just a vehicle. Oh, they're using furniture a lot. Cookie the Yeep, welcome. Hello there. It's actually kind of a fun name. I'll admit that. Do I like that actually? Huh. You know, I was picturing that differently in my head for how that might look. Huh. What's the other handlebar? The other handlebar is a lot more square, if I remember correctly, right? Yeah, you are more square. Which probably isn't a bad thing. If I use you up top. Hold on, let's get rid of the wheels for a second. So I kind of just want to compare this to the actual bar thing. So that needs to sit kind of there-ish. Train stuff really does bring everyone together. I mean, that's a I could probably... Nope. I was thinking I could change that by having that face downwards. No, I cannot. So I did that like that. That works out. Kind of. I could probably get away with using just minifig hands, honestly. For the other shapes. Hue. Okay, again, second time. I was imagining this was angled a lot more than what it actually is. If I remember right, these are just kind of like leaf springs. Yes, those are leaf springs, more or less. So honestly, like, that's kind of like a jumper sitting right there so that it like pokes out. And then we can run a tile all the way across to kind of connect things. Maybe even a plate. Probably tile. I gotta figure out how to connect that in. Yes, these are hitting. We're going to ignore that for a split second. And then I need some kind of clip pretty close to underneath here to run the... Okay, right about there, maybe. To run the other bar that goes underneath, to which we can connect the bearing holder things. Yes, that's perfect descriptive language. Bar, I don't, this would be 5 long, actually? Excuse me, sorry, 4.5 long. We don't have 4.5 long hose. I'm just gonna use that bar temporarily. Though we could do chrome silver, so we could do chromed out bogey sidings. That is a thing we could do. I guess without further ado, I actually probably should be starting to actually put some plates, like actually building a bogey structure. Which makes me think of the other bogey I have, because the other bogey I have, I do believe sits on 4.5. Can we modify it though? That'd be the question. I don't think so. Easiest solution is actually just to do that. Whichever way that falls. Copy mirror it. We have basically the internal structure of the bogies. Technically this needs to be 4 wide. but we can easily get that with just a Technic axle and some spacers. Axle, let's go for 5. Are you gonna lock in? Okay, you do lock in. Thank you for that. Lift arm, Technic pin, or Technic. Why is it pin? I'ma blame it on the sickness. Because that's the mature thing to do. I'll just blame it on me being tired or whatever else. Even though I had decent sleep, so. Yeah. It's just easier to blame it on the sickness. Okay. You connect. Oh, wait, what? Okay, that's even. Why is the... Okay. No, I think that's still fine. Are you... Oh, you are slightly overlapping. Huh. I think it's just because these have kind of just a weird connection point, honestly. For my sanity, though, let's just do a bit of copy mirror. Because copying and mirroring solves a lot of things. Yes, 5 long axles don't actually hold the wheels. I know that. I'll go ahead and slap in a 6 long in there. Axle. Where's 6 long at? That's 5 long, 6 long. Here we go. There you go. You're into modifying your Lego, just shave off a little bit of one side. You'll have the perfect axle for your train wheels. Copy mirror. Go right there. So that should put the centers on 5? No, that should be... Did I get this wrong? This is 4.5 on centers. Oh. Does this need to be a lot more squished together? Yeah. Yeah, it does. By almost a good stud. Whoopsies. Okay, put our 5 longs on here, I guess, because we need to have a really short bogey, even though we might stick the 6 longs back on there. Is that how close those are together? No, am I doing something wrong? Okay, I'm doing something drastically wrong. Is it on centers of 5? Can I not math? This wouldn't be the first time, but still. Apparently I cannot math. Sweet. Okay. Let's go ahead and grab all of this nonsense. And, well, without further ado, we actually need to start trying to connect some of these onto here. Freedom units are hard. They are hard. This is why I stick with millimeters. I have found that out through CAD work I used to do. That just millimeters are just so much more nicer when trying to calculate stuff. Going by tens is the easiest thing in the world. I'm going to put that plate there temporarily, which doesn't help me actually, because that leaf spring needs to stick way out further. And I think it needs to be a little bit lower. Okay. I'm just going to place things for the moment. Okay, come out. There we go. Yeah, we'll have to fix some things. I just want to, okay. Not do that. I just want to check positioning of things, because that would be nice. raise up. All right, there we go. Ah. So this is way up too tall. By like plate, half a plate, something like that. Yeah, this is basically this whole entire thing is up too tall by half a plate. Is there a strong difference between the upwards and downwards versions? I don't think there is. There may be, though. Yeah, I don't think there is. Actually, no, there might be. Okay, well, if there is, then let's swap out for the downwards ones, and that might get me my half plate offset that I'm looking for. Okay, I think I might ignore that those are weirdly not aligned. Is it locked in? So yeah, those are like that then. Okay, that's one plate. I think that gives me my half plate. That does not give me my half plate offset. Dang. So I could do as well Technic bricks on their sides and then random bracketry shenanigans go to get the half plate offset upwards. There's also there's so many other things I could be doing as well to get that offset. Brackets might be the way to go, though. Okay, that needs to be a plate back, I think. And then that'll make it even. In here, put you there. Yeah, and that gives me my half plate offset. So that's exactly what I'm looking for, more or less. Okay, you are acting all like you're connected. That's good. I don't think the bogey will rip apart, though. Okay, it helps if I actually do things correctly. Let's put that on top. Select by connected, grab all that, put it downwards. Yeah, that's looking a little better. Hold on, I need to sneeze real quick. Okay. So we're looking better on alignment. I need to do quite a few things, though, to still fix many things that are wrong with this currently. One of which is the spring. Leaf spring doesn't stick out, and we're hitting things. So that's like a few issues there. Something I'm wondering, though, is could I do... I'm partially wondering if I can't connect off of these and do something. I probably can, because I could... one solution is... not that. Or even just, you know what, for stronger... just overall build, it would probably be even smarter to go like that. I could even just run a bar across there if I needed to for some kind of connection. Also just kind of ties things together too, which would improve strength to a certain degree. There's also a lot of other stuff we could do even with these areas of connection. We need to get certain things aligned a little better. Just trying to think in my head what would be the best means of getting things connected. Yeah, okay. Would just a 1x3 sticking away out would do fine? Kinda. Kinda. We don't happen to have slope curve. We don't happen to have the thinner version of the 1x3 yet. So I was. Thank you for your content. It's past bedtime here in Dutch. Welter Rustin? I highly doubt I pronounced that correctly. But I think that means good night. So good night to you as well, friend, and thank you for tuning in. Anyways, what I'm kind of thinking is, if we had the 1x3 skinny one, we could probably do that without it clipping into the clip, because that's currently hitting the clip. If we could actually see, maybe not. No, that's definitely hitting the clip just a little bit. Because that could act almost as what looks like a thinner spring. It definitely won't be a thinner spring, but at least it kind of looks the part. Yeah, the bar has to get moved down. That's really low, actually. I would like that to be higher up. This may involve bracketry. Sleep good too. I already did. Just because of the time difference. But I will take that for tonight then. Time differences can be funny sometimes. But thank you, my friend. Okay, yeah, because I kind of need this clip, honestly, to be more, like, up here. Which, trying to think now, what would be actually the best method of getting that to be a little bit more upwards? So I almost want some kind of, like, bar connection underneath. This is already getting to be quite the wide. Bogey. I mean, it's fine if the spring sticks out a little bit. But it'd be nice if we could suck things in a little bit too. Make things a little bit skinnier. Mostly these axles that are kind of in the way. Sorta? There might be ways around this, actually. In the grand scheme of things. Like, because I could replace this with one of those. Actually, there's a lot of ways I could get around this in the grand scheme of things. Because if I change these to like the half axle ones, I could do 3 wide in the middle, which would change up quite a bit of the dimensions and would also odd up the middle, which makes things a little bit more skinnier. Which would probably be good, actually, to have things sucked in, because the skinnier we can make things, the more better it'll look overall. Kind of need to take this whole blueprint, actually just make it sideways. Thank you. Mirror. 1x3 and 1x3. Bracket. Bear with me. We're not to our half offset yet. Technic axle, no, Technic connector. Nope. Technic? Technic. It's somewhere there buried in the menagerie of part menus. I have the part menus at least mostly memorized by now. Okay, where is your snapping point? You do not have a snapping point. Awesome. Well, can I get... Oh, you have that connection? No! Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be brutal. Yep. I do not like that connection. I like it when there's a lot more going on, like this. A little bit more finer movement. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's in dead center. I need copy paste and select by connected. Grab all that. Thank you. And plop that down right there. There we go. I might have to test that in order to make sure that it's not hitting. Plate modified. I'm wondering if... Actually, no, droid arms probably would be the answer I'm looking for. It's R the droids I'm looking for. Yeah, because that can can that get me close enough to the clip to the bar position that I'm seeking? I think it does. That looks pretty good, honestly. Yeah, I think I have to just put like that there-ish and also here-ish. And then what kind of it is technically using these sloped ones. That is what it is using. So there's a couple options we could do for that. One is literally just using a tile like that, which I don't think is bad necessarily. 4.5. I think I want to replace that. No, I don't have 5 long hose. But I do have 2.5 long hose. I guess I need to import 4.5 long hose as well. Because this isn't... Yeah, this is 3.5. This is 2. 2.5 is this one. Copy mirror. Okay, connect. You... Okay, do you have a middle connection? Yes, you do. Perfect. Okay, yeah, it's hitting there. I think I'm definitely gonna have to test some things. Because, I mean, if it is getting in the way, I'd also angle these out, which wouldn't totally be weirdly inaccurate. Like, adjust some other movements. As long as it's not hitting the rails. That's kind of the important part, because this right here rides on the rail, and we only have, like, a certain amount of depth we can get to. Yeah, I'll have to try some things. I might also be able to get away with a 5 long axle too, and just be riding on the very inside of those bogies. I need to get some like Trixburg stuff. So that I can try and see how things handle in curves, because that'd be kind of nice. Just tile those off for now. Grab all this. Copy mirror and plop it over on the other side. So we have both sides of our bogies, and these are roughly as skinny as we can get. So I think that's mostly pretty good. We will be using the BMR knuckle couplers. Problem is, I need to go from odd to even now to even attach those, which is kind of a slight problem. Yeah, just a slight problem. I could always do a little bit more bracketry just on that one side. That'll kind of give me a little bit more of which to attach to. Which should be fine. Maybe. Now I'm just trying to think about how to go from odd to even. Because that is not the easiest thing in the world to do. I wonder if we're going to have to do some funkiness just to get this to work. It's not out of the realm of my insanity to do that. One thing we could do is something like... Okay, if you just placed evenly in the middle, that would be perfect. Because I believe... no, you're half a stud out. No, that doesn't work. Never mind. I always think I have something, but it turns out I don't. Yeah, I'm just going to go back to tile, copy, paste. Because we also need to put a turntable on top. Because I don't think it'd be good to do a bar or something like that sticking out the top. We need the 2x2 turntable. I mean, it could go up inside the boxcar. That might be just how we have to do things. Yeah, I think that might just have to be how it is. Plate modified. I would like the C plate, please. You on that side, and you, my good sir, on that side. So that kind of fills things out. Plate modified. We can put these along here. Now this will change the turning dynamics of this, but something else that we could do too, which actually might be how we have to do things as well, is to have the turntable actually offset. So like if it's offset backwards, this front part will swing a lot more. Could be a problem. Let's go custom parts. BMR. I'm gonna grab both of these. Actually, no, I'm gonna grab all of them because I'm actually not even entirely sure how I'm going to connect this. Because I need now the BMR coupler gauge to make sure that I have things good. You can go fetch that real quick. Yep. This is just an official file you can pick up. So you can always make sure your couplers, especially for custom bogies, are aligned with what everyone else's should be. Alright, move please, drop down. Okay, we want to be right at the bottom of that bogey. I think that's... yeah, right there. It's close to what we should have. Upwards, definitely not. Level? That might be too tall, actually. I might have to do main tile 2x4. Yeah, this is like really up inside of that bogey. Ooh, that okay. Huh. So that's kind of where that needs to be, but this is like, as we can see, is probably going to be interfering some of the bogey with some of the boxcar design. We can definitely make a area around that so that this can swivel around, not hit stuff. But wondering if there's something more I could do, because I could definitely lower it and use this one instead. Hold on, I need to sneeze again. Okay, just slowly falling apart. Trying to come up with some ideas here. Any ideas I can possibly actually come up with just to be able to lower this? Yeah, I could do that. That does not have good grip on that coupler, though. Just as an honest thing. I might actually be able to skirt a 2x3 tile underneath there. And then tile around. Maybe this one? Just to kind of add pressure on top of that. Especially if the boxcar is riding on top of this tile and this turntable. It'll add more pressure to this, which kind of holds this. This is also being held in by these studs. The fact that those studs are there. So that does have benefit. As a side note, the only thing holding the front axle and the rear axle together concurrently is a 1x3 plate in the middle. I think if there's anything else I could do to try and reinforce that. We do have the coupler, though. That works. A little offset, but it still is close enough where interoperability is good. So at least we have that going for us. I would, if we could possibly get it, have more connection between both sides, but I don't think we're going to be able to have that. Yeah, because I was thinking clips, like doing a extra long clip on this side, because this side technically has a little bit more going for it because of this turntable here. But the other side doesn't. That 1x3 wrapped up might be good enough as it is. I'll have to, like I said, I need to probably build a test assembly of this bogie, which is just the main core section here. We'll call it good though for the moment. Bogies are, of course, black. There's definitely no other detail we can do. I don't think we can do the brake rigging. Because it would literally just be a bar going across the front. Right? Yeah, no, that doesn't work. Yeah, there's definitely not. I don't think there's a good way of doing that brake rigging. That doing some very fragile things. But why does that work? Wait a minute. You're not supposed to work like that so easily and nicely. Technically the bar should be going all the way across, but why does it work so well? That's a happy accident. Pretty close to one at least. Because it really doesn't need that much strength. Just holding onto that, being insert into that little hollow stud, be plenty for it. You're not really picking this car up by the bogies too. You're mostly picking it up by the body, so the body needs to be the strong part. Huh. Well, yeah, that works. I'm gonna call that good. Select by connected. Can I grab this entire thing? I think I have the entire thing. I yoink this. Yeah, we do have the entire thing. Sweet. Create a submodel. Thank you. Edit. Select by killer. Let's go. Okay, so it wants to do weird things. All right. Cool. Also, what in the world on you is chrome silver? Because we got rid of that bar piece. It's a little upset though at the moment, so let's turn the filter off. Black, okay. Then select by color. It's mostly upset because those hook hose pieces are custom. Oop, there we go. And we'll just manually make the rest of this black. It's just anything on the inside that is not super visible. We can have just any other rainbowish color. And it'll just kind of make the bogey ever so slightly cheaper. Really, is yellow the cheapest color for this? $0.37, but oh yeah, yellow is cheaper. Light bluish gray is just ever so slightly more expensive. Black. I guess technically just the 1x3 that's going across the middle is going to be the only brightly colored thing on this bogey. Actually, that dark bluish. Maybe a few parts. But only a few parts. Even that trans red piece is... no, it's not. It's only hidden because I have the diagram over here. There we go. Yeah, there's the first colored thing. Here's the bogey, and we can copy and we can paste it and try and line it up with the diagram. There we go. Well, it's starting to kind of take shape. Only a little bit, but it's at least something. Definitely need to figure out how to attach the sides. If possible, I want to not ruin this texture as much as I can. Best way to do that I can think of is to replace these 1x6s with 2x6s, and then from the 2x6s on the inside, do a lot of the connection shenanigans to get our close to 7.5 width. It'll probably be more like 7.6 or something like that in the end. Or even 7.4 is actually 7.4 would probably work. We could probably do that with some brackets. Oh, we're gonna have to do it with brackets, but I mean, the thickness is a brackets. So I think the first thing I need to do is actually link these two together with some kind of spine, skeleton between the two. And I don't think it's going to be as easy as just running two plates in between these. Not you, a little bit longer. Ooh. No, but it's going to be dang close. It's easy actually to just get some clips and do just run bars where easy to connect on. That way the positioning is correct. I do need kind of a frame of reference here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so they are 5. Get rid of those two. Put 2x6s in here and here. Might be able to do something pretty good. Yeah. At least roughly good. We'll have to fiddle with it to get more of an exact placement, but it's a start. Actually, I need to put this first, currently. So that'll give me a frame of reference for the middle. Yep, like that. So if we use kind of like a 2x16 going across the middle. Yep, and that kind of ties across both of those pretty nicely. That is really tall, though. You can shuffle that 2x16 a lot lower. That'll help with several things. One, it'll help with the bar connections. Because we definitely want those to be as strong as possible. Actually, we might not have to even do that much. I need to select by connected. I need to grab these two and actually move them away for the moment. Easiest way to do that actually is just go like that, so at least they're still in line with the blueprint to a certain degree. Bar, do the 6 long bars. For clicking into place. Actually, you know what? Just save my sanity. I'm just going to copy and mirror this. Save my sanity doing that. Copy, paste. And of course, it doesn't do the actual thing. I didn't grab all of them. Okay, connect you to somewhere on this bar. That is not close enough. But I can use the move tool to reposition it to there. Okay, so that's now exact where it needs to be. According to the diagram. Which is close enough. So now I need to put whatever pieces I can to basically enforce the spacing. Which is like that. That was actually not that hard. Why are you even on this side and you're not even on this side? I think I just need to click this one over. Boop, like that. Okay, you're not even, actually. Hold on. Oh. You know, it probably... Okay, we're gonna take a few steps back here. Hold on a minute. Nope. You be like that. Thank you. Delete you. Delete you. I want to make this as precise as possible. You are... Okay, you are aligned. Good. Copy here. We're gonna delete you for a second. Okay, so you align yourself. Probably gonna be like this one. Nope, that's too far over, but we can just use the move tool. Huh, these have a little bit different alignment, don't they? So we're just ever so slightly off. That does bother me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, that it's kind of bothers me a little bit. Because why on earth are you aligned up and you're not? So there's got to be something weird about probably the other end of this. Yes, there is. Is it? Is it ever so slight? Is that? Ah, okay. Now we're perfect. Yeah, it's just these back ends of these sticks have connection points that are ever so slightly off. Does this matter in any way? No, I am just probably that mentally broken. Let's just be truthful and admit how I actually am. Mentally broken because I am so particular about things. Okay, so now... Actually, question. If I did copy mirror, okay, I put that on there. Is that 7.5 wide across the full thing? 7.2. To reach 7.4. I think it would just need to be a plate, honestly. Hold on. Let's try something real fast. Brick modified you, my good sir. Copy mirror. Okay, okay, you're not gonna connect on there so nicely. This lessens it, right? 6.8, okay. Let's try a plate thickness. That get me very close to the 7 point whatevers I need. And 7.6, we have a winner. Select by connected, grab everything here. Adjust this to connect to there. And now we undo this because the actual connection method we'll be using is going to be a lot different. Okay, you onto there, there. I'm going to have to do a lot of these. 2x6s so that we have good anchorage to the outside skin of this. I feel like I want a 1x6 there, but I think that'd be a terrible idea for quite a few reasons. Some include how to attach the ends and try and cover up a lot of other things too, so yeah. Yeah, we're going to ignore that for a second. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 5. Gee, is this even... I need something to act as a ruler. That does not poke through. I was hoping that was going to poke through. Okay, yeah, it is not to the stud. This one is, I believe. Yes. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So technically, this would be the end of 2 studs. So that one is probably the one we should swap with the 2x6 plate. He helps. Let's do the same thing on this side. About 3 inwards, right, of the 1x6s. Yep. Sweet. Plop that in, and that should give me plenty of little connection points to connect to. Yeah. Looking at it, I might actually have to even fix these and know where their positions are, just so I have better access to these stud connections here. It's gonna be a whole mess on like the opposite side of the skin. So try and get things to like line up and look nice and be connected all sturdy. Yeah. Like actually, it's probably smarter if I move these inwards. Middle. I don't like that because then that gives me a lot more room. So I can figure out how to connect these to the wall in a somewhat strong fashion. That would be best. Without breaking up the smooth lines that we have. The doors we're probably going to do a different technique for. Maybe. We'll see. If not, they'll be kind of thick. Like extra thick. And we'll have to try something to get them to look nice. They're going to be a whole disaster in and of themselves. With that out of the way, I should probably also adjust this one. So there is where I want to push that one back to. It would help. Oh, jeez. Did you just move there? Thank you. It struggles so much. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So now I have a lot more room close to the doors for trying to get some kind of sturdy connection. Which honestly, I just feel like would be clips and bars. Now, I can probably hear your thoughts now. That does not sound like a sturdy connection. There are ways to make it sturdy. There are ways to drastically screw things up. But we could take advantage of the bars being there to create probably some kind of hinge system in order to actually be able to use the doors. So they'll probably do double duty in the end. Just like the Lego airplane doors that use kind of like almost like a double hinge type thing with droid arms. We might have to do something similar for these doors to make them actually hinge outwards, or with heavy air quotes, look like they hinge outwards. So, yeah. That'll be a whole thing. Water trap. There's probably a water trap on each side too. Do we even get like a kind of a display of where those water traps are at? That's okay. So nope. Oh, the water traps are right along the edge. Oh, look at that. Yeah, they're right there. I believe that would be them. Because we have these coming along here. This model has different water traps. They're more boxes than they are circular according to the blueprints. That's interesting. That they're square almost on this model. I believe on the real thing they're actually round. Hold on, I'm gonna go quickly fetch an image of the real thing. It'd be nice if I had a clear image of the real thing. Wait. Why is the clear image kind of the most hardest to see? It's a problem. Just let me come over to screen here real quick. This image is only 370 by 129 pixels wide. This one is 700. Be nice to have like a really clearer model photo. Question, does that work? Open image tab. Really? I can see where the drain traps are at. They're like little pixels right there. It'd be nice to have something that has a lot more pixels to it. But I don't know if we're going to get that. It'd be nice if there's also if the drawings had a little bit more detail to them as well of where the drains are at. See, this one's using circular ones on either side. That might be the one. This might be the one more to follow. Using the circle on the one side. This one here is using the squares on either side, which might have been a thing for this one, the Santa Fe one. Just help. There might be two. Wasn't there two that I was looking at this one? Yeah, I think there is two. So maybe they made a change after the prototype or after the drawings to add more water drain areas. Yeah, because if we go here, you can maybe on this little thing, there still have just the one on the one side. Huh. Okay. Now let's go back to studio. Don't need to worry about that too much at the moment, but there will be a point where I kind of need to think about that. And I also need to think about how to connect things too. The nice thing about the middle, though, is because of a lot of what we have going on, especially with the brick connections, we have a lot more to work with. But when it comes to some of the other areas, we have a lot less. That is probably very much inside of that. Second, does that actually line up? It does. Almost makes you think that we could use headlight bricks or something to that kind of connection, but I don't think that'd be a good one. I think this will just merge in Yeah, if we just do that. I need just a decently strong connection between the sides and the middle. At least with the ice area, we can hide some stuff. The ends are going to be a little more difficult to hide things. Doesn't mean we still can't work around, though. Several ways. Yeah. Okay. How modified? Probably like this, just to get the... Because we want a bar going across there. Which will end up being probably a 6-long bar. We will pay attention to this one, because this one does need to sit nicely. Actually, that is already sitting nicely. Thank you for that 6-long bar. You gonna... Oh, it clicks in! That's super nice. Let's go ahead and grab all of this nonsense. Copy and mirror. Ta-da! Delete you. Grab all of this nonsense on this side. Actually, just stay on this side and copy and mirror. There we go. So yeah, and we have these bars we can probably use as connection points to get the doors to do their thing as well. So that'd be double acting. Still not figuring out how to connect the middle though. Actually, wait. I think I do have a plan. And that is to push these plates out just a little bit more. Because if we can fit brackets in the middle. I grabbed the blueprint. Yeah, the only thing though is these brackets actually don't sit nicely against each other like this. Now I think about it, maybe that won't work. I mean, we could... I don't like thinking of this. We could just do more bar tricks. And it's not the drunk type of bar tricks. Just bars, clips, and a lot of other nonsense in order to get things to cooperate. Right? Mirror. So I don't think doing a vertical one would do that well. No. Whatever we do, it has to be sideways. Yeah, no. I mean, okay. Truth be told... Ah, Luffy, hi. Welcome. Truth be told, we could do this and back and forth it. Actually, that might work. Because if we link these together... Like a 2x4 tile? Probably. That would make sure that these are all connected together. Tile modified. You go here. Copy here. Paste. Wow, that is very inwards. That is... Yeah. Okay. That is several problems wrapped up in one not so nice present. I'd put a 2x6 honestly in there. Attach those towards the middle. Because for the ice thing, I was hoping to do brackets and stuff. But I might have to wipe that idea off the table. Especially with how certain things are going to kind of line up. Because, like, that's... See, like, that's hitting already. That's a problem. It does seem like I could actually fit that in there, though. Surprisingly. And try and give you, like, a flat space in order to put things. We can ignore those bars merging for the moment. Just to try and get things to line up in any decent manner. But also, is that just resting against there? It is. Huh. Like, just that resting against there provides more, like, support for it. Like, that, it's actually that simple. That it just resting against there provides, like, back support. And I want brackets in the middle. So that way I can do grill pieces on the sides to try and look like the radiator bits that make up the middle section. I guess that would be best probably done here pretty quick. Did that, and then we did some brackets. Upwards and upwards. Probably get 4, if not... Ooh, wow, okay. Maybe not 4, but... It's close to... almost 5 wide in here? Huh. Oh, that is actually just right above the studs. Okay. We can work with that. Plate round, actually. Yeah. Okay, so if we put bars in here... okay. If I pull that off, put a bar in there until it runs flat smooth against the bottom. Same there. We could then use connection tool to connect you to there. Copy mirror, because we're gonna need both sides on. You know what? It'd be even smoother if I did something like that. Like, that's pretty great. Then I could probably even just use... Okay, you're not snapping, but we can definitely work out a way for you to snap. Move downwards. Okay, so that's now sitting there. Question. At what point does a downwards bracket sit on there? A plate up. Heck yeah, so this is actually working out. That. Okay. This might work out pretty dang near perfectly. Yeah, okay, I think we're actually pretty good. And if I just slather the sides with 1x3s, and can we do a 1x4 up top? No, negatory. There is something else going on weirdly up top. I don't think there's anything we can really do about that. But at least for the sides, if we do tile modified, let me run some of these guys. Okay, you're hitting things. Lovely. You alright, Doug? Are you coughing? Are we all sick? that would not be good. Yeah, I don't think I can get away with that. Going over the hose, which kind of sucks. I was hoping to kind of squeeze that in there. Because a 1x4 plate doesn't squeeze in there. It does in the middle. That might work. Just in the middle is enough. Just to get the texture in there. Because it would be nice if you could open this up and see the grill texture that makes up the area where the ice goes. Plate. No, I need that to actually just be a 1x3 from the start, and then another 1x3 across the top. There we go. Like, that's pretty great. I guess that's probably what we're gonna have to go with. These outside grill tiles aren't really anchored in the best, but they're inside, so they should be mostly fine. We can actually merge these together. And that will just make that center there a decently strong little core. Pretty good. I'm gonna hide this blueprint for a second, just so I can kind of get a look at it. Yeah. Okay. Actually doing pretty well. Let's go ahead and select by connected. Grab you. Copy in here. Okay, you're like all connected. That's sort of a problem. Because I really just want kind of this middle section so that I can plop it on. Kind of get a look at things. Yeah, the doors we're gonna actually probably just do a little bit of a delete on for the moment. Yeah, I don't like that, but not much we can do about that, and it closes up the gaps around the doors really nicely. So that is a thing, unfortunately. I guess without further ado, we just need to get some side stuff built, probably over top of the bogies. It more or less does the same thing like we did in the middle. That core is pretty good, actually. It'd be quite strong. And I think we're gonna have to change up how these bogies attach, which isn't too big of a problem, because I know exactly what to do. And that is to whip out some Technic bricks. These guys. And then get the Technic pins with the stud. Actually, I would like the friction ones, please, because that'll add a little bit more stiffness to things. There we go. Okay, it would help if I grabbed just that part, please. I need the stud connections. You do not stud connect with that. I need the stud connection of the pin itself. There we go. Boop. Perfect. Copy, paste. Connection point. I need the connection point of this pin. That goes there. And on the other side, I actually need 3 of these. And that will basically add to the buffer to make it even across. Oh, in the grand scheme of things, because of how this is built, we probably don't even need too much of going on over on this side. Doesn't mean we can't do it anyways. That one just snapped in. It's pretty nice. Yeah, we have a shell kind of happening here, a little bit. So we got a lot of work to do. We're building up a shell of the boxcar. I think it's gonna look pretty fabulous. What many parts are we up to already? 282. Yeah, it's gonna be a parts hog a little bit just because of getting that texture. Anyways, though, it's only just slightly early, but I think we're gonna go ahead and just end off because I'm feeling like I need to take a bit of a lay down. Kind of, it's like that droopiness that you feel when you're sick. Let's go ahead and save this. Just kind of feeling that a little bit, so I'm like, maybe it's best just to call it before I get into trouble. Hanrahan Reefer. There we go. Save. Yeah, we'll save that. We have our Hanrahan Reefer. We have the outside pretty well. Got to kind of copy and paste this internal structure around a little bit. So we have a solid core. The more solid the core is, the better the boxcar will be. I think this will be a pretty gorgeous looking boxcar by the end of things. At least I hope. But yeah, without further ado, we still have a lot of work to do, but this is a good start. And I hope you enjoyed. I will see you all again next time. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your day / evening, depending on where you're around the world. And I'm going to go rest for a little bit. And I hope you all stay healthy as well. So yeah, take care, and I shall see you again soon. Bye-bye. So far, buddy. Talk to you later. Yep. Talk to you later, man.